Hello everyone, this is Daily Development here, and today we're going to be going over an interview question that was asked by Amazon. So without further ado, let's jump right in. And the question is, there is an n number of steps in a staircase, and you can climb either one or two steps at a time, and you have to write a function that returns all possible ways, all the unique ways you can climb the n number of stairs, right? So for example, let's just take number of stairs. Let's just say n is 4, right? So there are 4 stairs in the staircase. Then there will be 5 unique ways you can climb it. So you can climb one stair at a time, or you can climb, first 2 stairs immediately and then climb one each, or you can do, climb first stair and then 2 stairs and then 1 stair, so on, right? And then you can, at the end, would be like just climb two steps, right? So there are 5 unique ways to climb it. So now what I'm going to encourage you is to stop the video and try to solve the first part. Now, after solving the first part, stop the video and see if you can also solve the challenge question. So what the challenge question is asking you, like how here we're assuming you can only climb 1 or 2 steps? How about if you don't assume that? They will give you X that tells you exactly how many steps you can climb. So for example, let's just say if they give you an array of 1, 3, and 5, that means you can climb 1, 3, or 5 steps at a time, and you have to come up with all unique ways. So if you haven't paused the video yet, do so right now, because I'm going to be going over the first part of the challenge, and then I will go over the second challenge. All right, so the way I would like to approach this problem is I would like to write a recursive function that finds all the ways. Let's think about for a staircase with 4 stairs. We know that the end result will either end on 1 or end on 2. Because if you think about it, if you look here, there are 5 possibilities, and they have one thing in common. All of them end on either 1 or they end on number 2. So we know the end result. Now let's walk backwards. So let's think about these 2 solutions. Either it ends on 1 or it ends on 2. What we have to do here is let's think about this. So if we climb 3 stairs, right, then the last stair has to be 1 stair up. So we can actually throw this back in the recursion. What are all the possible ways we can climb 3 stairs, right? And then, if we know all the possible ways we can climb 3 stairs, we can just add that 1 stair. There you go. We're gonna get 4 stairs, right? And what are all the possible ways we can climb 2 stairs? And then, if we climb 2 stairs, we can just go ahead and climb 2 more to get to 4, right? So what's going to happen here is, as you see, I just moved. There are 3 possible ways we can climb 3 stairs. And so what we have to do is, so there are 3 possible ways we can climb stair number 3, and there are 2 possible ways to climb 2 stairs. So what that ends up being is, it ends up 5 total possibilities on how all unique ways we can climb 5 stairs, right? So if you think about it, to climb stair number 4, right, what we have to do is we have to add up what are all the unique ways we can climb 3 stairs plus all the unique ways we can climb 2 stairs. And if we add them up, eventually we're going to end up with all 5 possible ways. So I listed them on the screen, and you can see there are 5 possible ways, 5 things I listed, and all 5 of them are, these are all the 5 possibilities. All 5 of them are unique. So every number is the sum of the previous 2. And that's how we can approach this problem here. Okay, so let's come back here now, and let's start actually coding this problem. So how let's create a function called find number of steps. And it just takes how many steps there are. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to return find number of steps of n minus 1. So how many, let's say this equals to 4, we're just going to return all the possible ways we can climb stair number 3 plus all the possible ways we can climb stair number 2. And then, recursion, you actually have to tell recursion when it's going to end. So let's make, for example, if n is less than or equal to 1, then return 1. For example, if we want to climb 0 stairs, there's only one possible way, right? It's just doing nothing. And if we want to climb 1 stairs, again, we only have one possible way. It's just by climbing 1 stair. So now let's run this and see if it works. So let's try to print all number of ways we can climb a staircase with 4 steps. And well, the end result is 5. So if we do 5 staircases, this should return us 8 because, this previous step is 3. 3 plus 5 equals 8. So there you go. So it returns us 8. All right, now what I'm going to encourage you is I'm going to encourage you guys to stop the video and now go ahead and try the challenge question and then come back to me. So if you haven't paused the video yet, do so now because I'm going over the challenge question. So let's look at the challenge question. Last time we only had 2 possible ways, right? We could either climb 1 stair or 2 stairs. Now let's say we can climb 1 stair, 3 stairs, or 5 stairs at a time. What that really means is we can, if we take a number n, right? Let's say 7 stairs. The end result would either end on number 1, it'll either end on 3, or it'll end on 5, right? And now we have to kind of walk backwards from here. So we have to consider all the possible ways we can climb 6 stairs, and then it's just going to be plus 1 step, right? That would give us 7 steps. Or we have to take all the possible ways we can climb 4, and then just add 3 steps, right, to get to 7. And we have to add all the possible ways we can climb 2 stairs, and then add that 5 towards the end. And so where do we get the 6 from? Well, that's just 7 minus 1, right? Then 7 minus 3, and 7 minus 5. So challenge question really is you have to return all the possible ways. You have to return f of n minus 1. So in other words, all the possible ways you can climb this step before the last step, all the possible ways you can climb 3 steps before or 5 steps before. This is the recursive function that you have to write. All right, so now let's try to write a function that does that. So now let's try to write that function. First thing is we need to accept the second argument, which is x. And in here, let's just give it this array. So let's just say, for our purposes, that a person can climb either 1 stair, 3 stairs, or 5 stairs at a time. Now, in order to change that, what we have to do is we have to modify our function a little bit. Let's create all possible ways, and let's at first make it equal to 0. What we have to do is now we have to loop through all of x. So for I in x, right? So in other words, we have to loop through all the possible, all the ways, all the x. And what we're going to do on each step is make all possible ways plus my number of steps of I. Or, I mean, n minus I. So as you remember from previously, what we have to do is we have to solve, right? So what we need to do is we have to solve for f of n minus 1 plus f of n minus 3 plus f of n minus 5. And this is what we're going to loop through. Because we have these 3 numbers here, we're just going to loop through all 3 of them and say, all right, all the possible ways we can do n minus 1, right? 7 minus 1, plus all the possible ways of 7 minus 3 plus all the possible ways of 7 minus 5. This should give us all possible ways. Now let's just add a few things here. So let's say if n is less than 0, then just return 0. So I'm just saying, like, for example, if we write 5 here, or I guess if we write 4 here, and then it's going to try 4 minus 5, it'll return -1. Well, we know, we just return 0. We can't climb -1 stairs. Okay, so let's go back now, and now let's just return all possible ways. All right, so there was one mistake. We need to actually get rid of this, and we have to put it here. In other words, this is a parameter of this function. And here we need to add x. All right, so now it returned 12. So there we go. It's working now. Everything's going well. We can even try 20 and see if it crashes. Well, it doesn't. So it's working. We just fixed both the regular and the challenge problem. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please put thumbs up and subscribe. And see you later.